What's going on, everybody, man? King Recon here. You know what day it is. You know what time it is. We are here today to read the latest installment in that Wano and Onigashima awesome sauce of the best-selling manga in history. By the flag Nor's nearly the second best-selling comic of all time. We are here to read the one, the only, One Piece. Let's get right into it, dude. After the last chapter, Shanks, Who's Who, the Gomu no Mi. I mean, you already know the brain's been working. The theory crafting has been on another level. The comment section has been on fire. Y'all's pen has been just as much fire as Oda's pen. I mean, it's crazy. This last week has been, I mean, I was not expecting, none of us were expecting a massive revelation like this to happen in the middle of this battle. But for the reveal to take place and for y'all to be like, okay, let's go. And for all of our brains to be like, okay, let's go. I mean, it was a really fun week. And I absolutely enjoyed it. So let's get right into it. Chapter 1018. Jinbe versus Who's Who. We are still here. Gomu no Mi information. Gomu no Mi information. And here we see Ulti playing with Perona's dolls. Yo, protect Ulti's smile at all costs, man. Not after what she did to Tama. But if we can forgive that, protect Ulti at all costs. You know what I mean, bro? Protect her at all costs. Yeah, she's here holding Page One's hat, as Page One is looking at a book of dinosaurs with what I'm saying, Perona's toys all over the place here. At least that's what I'm getting from this image. So yeah, protect Ulti's smile at all costs, even though you can't see behind the mask. And shout out to Page One, man. Pei reading some dinosaur books here. Page One reading a picture book while Ulti pesters him to play with dinosaur plushies. What a wholesome cover page we have here. Let's get right into it. Oh yeah, the favorite card, man. Dude. Roger's sword being named Ace hit me on a whole different level, man. I was not expecting those types of emotions to take place. When I read that, man, I was like, nah. We've got to stop it now, Goku. And then we got Marco's bounty as well. And I was like, man, bro, yo, my boy was out here near Emperor level bounty. I mean, it's to be expected, to be Whitebeard's right-hand man, but man's had a massive bounty on his head, bro. A massive bounty. Let's get right into the chapter. Castle interior. A total of 300 headliners with gifter powers have switched sides. The chaos continues to unfold, and we get to see them right here as they're going into like swimwear. A little girl gave them orders from above the stage and the live floor. Somehow, she was able to sway them. It was that brat! She must have some kind of weird power. Think we can stop it by killing her? This is bad, they're targeting Tama. And Uncle Usopp, you already know, Uncle Usopp's on his duties. He's holding her, he's protecting her. He's like, yo, I got you. I've got you, son. Scorpion Death Needle. And what just happened to the manga? I greatly apologize. Give me a second. It went all the way back to the previous page. All right, here we go. Scorpion Death Needle. Daifugo-sama? And we see him right here just going ham. It's amazing to me that this individual that we were fighting against in Udon is now coming into as the cavalry. Daifugo-kun. And he even goes like, yeah, I got you, no worries. I got you. Hop on, Horselina. Horsella. See, I'm already reading it like Luffy. Horsella. I still wanted to say Horselina. Everything went just as planned, right, Master? Let me on too. And Usopp's like, yo, don't leave me behind, son. Running like Brook over here. Look at how fast his legs are moving. I found Komachio collapsed back there. You don't have to worry though. Leave him to us. Really? Thanks a bunch. Her ability really is amazing. No kidding, enemies one moment, friends the next. So Nami, can I be your servant again? Yo, here comes Zeus again, bro. He's like, yo, please, por favor, let me help thee. Are you serious? No way. What? We can be partners instead. How does that sound? Yo! Hey, my boy Zeus! My boy! Nami, 2 hearts for the hearts in his eyes. Out of the way, Nami's Nami's partner's coming through. I guess he's not the only one who's amazing. Hey, Nami got anything going on though. We can be partners instead. And not just business partners. Let's get it. Let's get it, man. How does that sound? That sounds wonderful to me. That sounds wonderful and beautiful to me. Let me be a business partner. Let me be a partner to the GOAT. Let me be a partner, all right? Help the samurai every day. I'm sorry, I can't. Bro, this man Zeus was like caught up in some sort of thing. I mean, his eyes were shook. I was like, hold on a minute, play. It's like his brain was immediately reworked. Like, all right, hold on. Nami's partner's coming through. Let's get it. Can't blame him. I can't blame him. Who can? Help the samurai bring down Kaido. Are you out of your mind? Some subordinates are following the headliner's lead. That makes 2,000 additional traders. And here comes CP0, man. These individuals. And after the most recent reveal, of course, of the Gomu Gomu no Mi, we kept thinking back to CP0 and what it is they're truly after here on this island. Because there's a lot of different speculation for Onigashima and what they're trying to do after all this takes place. I mean, there's a lot of different theories, but the fact that they're here is very spooky. And the fact that they're not moving and doing anything is even more spooky. So it's like, man, the rampage has also cost us an additional 2,000 casualties. The number of beast pirate troops had already dwindled from 30,000 to 20,000. If you account for these new defections and casualties, then that means it's currently 16k versus 9k. The Gifter's help could result in White's continued success. The victory of this is of no consequence to us. We just need to confirm his death. His death. I don't like the sound of that, Chief. The victory of this is of no consequence to us. We just need to confirm his. Who in the Flying Flagnards is his? Are they talking about? I mean, the only one I can think about is Luffy with Instant Messenger Sama holding his bounty poster, going up there, the Great Cleansing, a knife going through the bounty. Like, have we verified his identity? Have we verified his identity? Well, it can't be Luffy then, because everybody and even the individuals outside of Wano know what he's about to do. Even if it is him, any confidential information he has should be dated. It should be dated. No, they're trying to keep this. They're talking about who's who. They're talking about who's who. And the reason why is because they believe he has confidential information that could harm the government. But now what he's saying is that the information that he had at that point in time would be dated enough that it wouldn't cause any harm to the WG, right? That's what they're saying here. If they're talking about who's who, they've got to be talking about who's who, man. They've got to be talking about who's who. Any confidential information he has should be dated by now. So that means the information that he has about the Gomu Gomu no Mi is dated. Allowing a rogue escapee to live would set a bad precedent. Well, who's to say he'll survive through the night? He's facing Jinbe. They are talking about who's who. And they know exactly who he's facing. They put respect on Jinbe's name now. They're putting respect on his name. They're like, yo, that's a former Shichibukai. That's the Knight of the Sea. The man who just keep up in the anime and hit the spirit shotgun and the spirit gun. You don't want a piece of Jinbe? I love how they're putting respect on Jinbe's name now. That's awesome. That's really, really gold. But still, look at these 3 panels of these 3 spooky individuals. All masked up and ready to pwn in a moment's notice. So, main objective here in Onigashima, besides I'm going to assume the aftermath, is to make sure that this man who's who is dead by the end of it. Man, 4th floor. We gotta get out of here. Who's who? Sama's getting serious. And here we go. We see Jinbe and who's who. Moonwalk goes up into the air. Jinbe's looking at him. So that means you hold a grudge against Luffy? My real issue is with the one who stole. He's got beef with Shanks. It's like, yo, so that means that Shanks real deal rolled up to him. But this is the thing, bro. Like we were talking about in the afterthoughts. Was it something? Because we know how that instant messenger Sama loves giving him some orders. And we know that Shanks, he'll go up there and there's like a mutual confidence in information there. So I'm sure with what's been going down in this entire series, could you imagine an order coming in from even higher above, being like, yo, Shanks, take that fruit from who's who. Now, I'm not sure, because we know that they had the specific fruit inside of the little art book, or the scrapbook that Lucky Roo was showing in the first chapter. So I'm sure it was just Shanks and them looking for the fruit, in the same way that Blackbeard was looking for the Yami Yami no Mi. But still, the fact remains that who was throwing hands with Shanks. And he knows, hey man, he knows firsthand to deal with that legend. To deal with the red-haired one. The most mysterious and legendary of individuals. Like, come on, man. My real issue is with the one who stole the Gomu Gomu fruit. Red-haired Shanks. Fang pistol goes in, you see the mouth, and Jinbe just... What you doing? Smack that thing to the side. Luffy wears the same straw hat. And he's the one who gained the power of the fruit. It's only natural for my resentment to spread to him. So, when he fought Shanks, Shanks of course had the straw hat. But also, nah, man. And then he's going in and he's eating like a jet stamp type of attack, but with the fangs. So the fangs are coming down, jet stamp type of speed coming in, but Jinbe, you know, this ain't nothing to my boy. But the fact that he's acknowledging that he had the same straw hat as Shanks, just below on the third floor, something's collapsing. Oh, and we get to see so this is how powerful this move is. That it's biting its way through the ground floor and heading down towards the floor that's below them. My arm, isn't this who's Sama's Fang pistol? Fourth floor. Dodging was a wise move. Even your armament hockey wouldn't be enough. If you had tried to block it, you'd have been eaten alive. I didn't think a slimy fishman could move that fast on dry land, Jinbe. Alright, hold on, bro. Now, if you're gonna start throwing disrespect to Jinbe, you better get ready to catch the hands. You better be ready to catch the hands, bro. And I'm not sure what to say to that. It's generally no longer acceptable to express such discriminatory views on fishmen. Jinbe's like, hold on now. I don't even gotta take care of you. How dare thee express that type of... You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, that's no longer acceptable. That's no longer acceptable now, so I'm not gonna be the only one trying to whoop you. You better keep an eye out, son. You better keep that thing shut. My bad. That reminds me, there's something else I want to talk about. Or ask about, I should say. Iron Body. He tech eyes up. Jinbe puts on the armament hockey. Goes in, looks at him. Fang Cavalry Fish. Jinbe puts up his fist. Was he able to block it? Man, look at that. So, right now, he's holding both of his massive tusks with one hand in the other. And we see that he's going on full force trying to bite this man. Fishman Jujutsu. Kaisen? Fishman Jujutsu, ebb tide shoulder throw. Goes in, and he says, hold on a minute, dude, you trying to hit me with what? Grabs him by the tusks. Shoulder throws him about, man. Let's go. Jinbe practicing professional wrestling moves here. Yo, and you see that his teeth get damaged. Water bullets, and he shaves out of the way. That hurts. About that thing I wanted to ask you. Back when I was in prison, I heard a story. I was mockingly told to pray to a certain someone for salvation. Apparently, slaves in ancient times believed in a legendary warrior that would eventually come and save them. They called him sun god Nika. It was said he would bring laughter to their lips and free them from their suffering. Who knows if he really existed, though? Son. So as in like, it was said he would bring laughter to their lips and free them from their suffering. Laughter to their lips. And then you think back to Laugh Tale. Now, the main thing I'm thinking about with the sun, you know how they're called the sun pirates. The fishmen have a fascination, of course, with the sun because they're barely able to see it, all the way under the sea. So is this a deity for the fishmen? So this had to have been somebody from back in Joy Boy's time period. Maybe somebody that actually existed. Maybe this was somebody who originally had the... So maybe this Nika individual, because it is the one for the sun, could have been a Mera Mera no Mi user from back in those times, in Joy Boy's time period. Maybe it was a little bit beyond that. And each that believed in a legendary warrior that would eventually come and save them. So that means it might have been somebody even further beyond Joy Boy's period. But let's just say that we stop at Joy Boy's period, and that's the last thing that we see. Then maybe at that time, they did believe in this legendary individual, especially if they had no preconceived knowledge on what fruits were. Maybe like guano, they believed it to be some sort of whatever, right? So they were like, hold on, this is more than likely like an individual can like summon suns or something, right? Or whatever. But in fact, he simply had the Mera Mera no Mi. That's at least that's from a logical standpoint. I think that's where we're going with this. This was the original wielder of the Mera Mera no Mi. However, it was said he would bring laughter to their lips and free them from their suffering. That is very interesting. That is extremely interesting because of the laughter section, the laughter part. Laughter, and of course freedom, but laughter is very key, especially here in this arc, man. Laugh Tale, he who laughs with what Kaido was saying to Luffy that was lost in translation. That's a very key component here, man. A very, very key component. Laughter. This has to have a connection. It's got to, regardless, we continue. This has to have a connection, though. My cruel sentence was dragging on for what felt like forever. So, he heard this in prison. So I clung on to the legend. I didn't care about the details. I just wanted to be saved. What does this have to do with me now? He's like, Jinbe's like, what does this got to do with me? What does that do with me? You led the Sun Pirates. I heard the crew was made up of former slaves. Besides, in the history of fishermen, a history of slavery? Man, he's getting right into the deepest parts of the fishmen here. Asking them about something that Jinbe, we know he lived through that. And we know the answer that he came up with it too. Back in Fisherman Island. You led the Sun Pirates. The history of fishermen, a history of slavery. Goes in finger pistol. He manages to hit him. So it looks like with that thing, he moved his mind away from the battle for a bit. Distracted him with the finger pistol. And then spots. So finger pistol spots. It's like a Gatling of finger pistols. And he goes in and just, he's hitting him. Jinbe's taking all of this. Yeah, crush him. Who's who, Sama? Take him down. The flying six are unreal. Even a former warlord is no match. The guard who told me about Nika vanished a few days later without a trace. I figured that maybe the story wasn't meant to be shared. And here you're going to put me in danger too, so I risked my life to break out. So CP0 wasn't talking about the fruit. They were talking about that individual. But the fact that they state that individual's information is outdated. So the person who told Who's Who this knew too much. He got executed. And now, hold up. So this story was so important to Instant Messenger Sama, to the Goro or whatever, that they were like, yo, we're sending CP0 to make sure that man's dead. So it wasn't just the Gomu Gomu no Mi. This man knew about this individual, Nika. Knowing how One Piece works, he had to have been the original wielder of the Mera Mera no Mi. He had to have been, man. He had to have been. Hearing it put me in danger too. So he goes in, bends his finger. Wait, hold on, no. I think Jinbe did that. So in the middle of doing this, in the middle of doing all the finger pistol spots, goes in, his finger bends, and Jinbe's holding on. Fishman karate, shark grip. I have nothing to say to you. Who's who, Sama? Take this. Go, yo, Jinbe's man. He was like, hold on a minute, player. You ain't talking about my people. You ain't talking about my people. I'm gonna gouge you in half. Fang pistol. Oh my god, nobody spread. Fishman karate, ultimate technique. Why are you so mad all of a sudden? Hey, get off my tail. If you're going to make broad statements about other people's history. Gargoyle tile fist. It gets him right in the grill, right in the face. Ah! You better not be half. Jinbei's like, bruh, if you're going to talk about my people, you better be ready to get whooped. You better be ready to get whooped, son. Let's go. Let's go, man. And who's who gets sent all the way back on the ground. Now, will this be the end of it? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But he got sent to the Flagnards. He most certainly got sent to the Flagnards. Gargoyle tile fist. Who's who, Sama? Needs the ground. Oh, man, we get the color spreads. Or the color pages. Oh, the final spread looks amazing colored, man. Amazing. Yo, he pissed off Jinbe, man. You don't do that. You don't do that, son. If you're going to make broad statements about other people's history, man, dude, gargoyle tile fist. But hold on, bro. This fascinates me, man. Because you already know, once again, this is... Oda in this arc is something else. So when this, what we originally anticipated to be him knowing too much about the Gomu Gomu no Mi, instead moves over to this. Now things get spicy. Now things get spicy, ladies and gentlemen. Because if the Mera Mera no Mi truly did belong to somebody that was very important to his Messenger Sama, so much so that that individual was... that they were executed for even mentioning this person. They were executed for their very belief or for spreading the existence of this individual. And so, for this person, or for this individual to live back in the day, I'm going to assume he had the Mera Mera no Mi. So the Mera Mera no Mi going throughout the times eventually arrives in Ace's hand. Instant Messenger Sama gets word that the Mera Mera no Mi, which also belonged to this Nika individual, but also belongs to Roger's kid. So he's like, yo, he's got to be executed. There is no doubt about that. He's got to be executed. And so they put him on the world stage, and not only for Instant Messenger Sama, it's for what's underneath. You know, for the entire world at hand, for the WG, for the Marines, like, yo, we're doing this as an example. We're doing this in order to make sure that Roger's kid, and to let everybody else know, which is why in the beginning of Marine Corps they revealed the information that the Pirate King's bloodline is going to end here. And it's to set an example of the rest of the pirates. But to Instant Messenger Sama, he's looking at the fruit. Now, this is what makes it even more fascinating. The fact that Doflamingo got his hands on this fruit. The fact that Doflamingo was the individual that grabbed this fruit and took it back with him. Now I'm interested in knowing him, whether he knows the importance of this as well. You feel me? So, I mean, if, I'm just speculating here. If it really is the original Mera Mera no Mi user, then it would make sense as to why this thing is so covered and so important to so many people, which would mean that Sabo, bro. If Sabo currently has it, and Instant Messenger knows what he has, then now I understand. Yeah, bro, so many things are starting to click and make sense, man. And let's just say, because he knows who Vivi is as well. I mean, he obviously had that poster. So Vivi, let's just say, has the connection to Uranus or to Pluton. I'm going to go to Pluton, considering Alabasta was the first time we heard that. So with that connection to Pluton, Cobra's dead. Vivi, whatever, on the run, whatever it is. With Sabo, and now he finds out that Sabo is the person who has the current version of that fruit. Man, yo. This is crazy. This is crazy. A legendary warrior. Who knows if he really existed, though. Can't just drop that, bro. At this point, he had to have existed. If they're killing someone just off of that information, then he had to have existed. So Joy Boy and Nika, these are individuals that we know from that time period. And I'm sure, knowing Oda, at the end of this arc, when we get to the Poneglyph, we're going to see both names on there. But what I'm interested in, what I'm fascinated in, is because Toki had to run away at that time period. Toki had to run away during the time of Wano 2, fast forward to the future multiple times. It's like, what in the world was chasing them out of there? And what forced them to close their borders and close their doors? The Void Sentry continues to get spookier and spookier, man. So now, if this is truly the case, so this person had the Meta no Mi. We're speculating that Joy Boy had either the Gomu Gomu no Mi or the Yami Yami no Mi. Based on Instant Messenger Sama holding those two posters, or maybe even both. You feel me? On some Blackbeard stuff. Maybe even both. But regardless of what happened, these fruits are obviously, all of them, or at least the major ones, have a significant amount of importance. Or maybe it's just those. To Instant Messenger Sama, who we also believe comes from the Void Sentry when he has the giant straw hat, all of that stuff. I read something very interesting last week that said that Instant Messenger Sama also may be a title passed down to the generations in the same way that Joy Boys is. So if that is certainly the case, then in the original Imu died all those years ago, but it's passed down the same way this Joy Boy title is passed down, then is that knowledge also passed down throughout generations? Do they have like this sacred scroll or something in up there in Marijoa that like has like the true, like what actually took place? So like, do they have like this Vatican in up there that like with a whole bunch of documents that no one else can read, but then everybody would know, everybody would know. It's like something that can only be passed down from mind to mind, and it's like, how in the world do you pass down that knowledge unless that individual lived throughout all of those years? We're going on the rabbit hole here, man. So Jinbe and Who's Who, awesome battle going down. I really like how we started touching upon, and you see, I'm glad that he talked about it too, about the fact that the Sun Pirates and whatnot makes sense. So I thought that Jinbe was also going to know about this person too. Maybe about it being a legendary figure in the history of Fishman Island, and honestly might be a legendary figure in the history of Fishman Island, knowing the importance of the sun down there. So it honestly could be. He real deal honestly could be an important figure that maybe Jinbe and them just don't know, because that education was never passed down to them, because that knowledge was supposed to be cut off after a certain point. So only certain individuals in the world know about it, right? So now I'm curious. Let me go back to volume 66. Let me... The message was meant for the married person on the island at the time. It was an apology for breaking a promise with Fishman Island. But someone comes to fulfill the promise New Boy's dead, at least according to the world legend. Protecting Noah through the generations, for it is not until the day the promise comes about. After everything ended up with the Fishman Island. So the mermaid princess who lived in the time of Joy Boy have another name. So everybody had alternate names, right, at that time. All these individuals had names of... Now, wait a sec. So if they all had alternate names at this time, Poseidon, Pluton, Uranus, those are the ones that are still being talked about today as ancient weapons. But if all the users as well also had different names. Tell you, man, the Void Century is some spooky. The Void Century is some crazy, crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. I look forward to seeing your thoughts about all this in the comment section down below. This is fascinating. And it's crazy that we're getting this in the middle of Jinbe and Who's fight. Like, who would have imagined getting all this information in the middle of their battle? Great chapter. CP0 continuing to be spooky. So now we understand. Now we understand about this. I just wonder who was it told them in prison that was then immediately executed. Like, how did they find out? But regardless, CP0 here. Now we know what information they were trying to preserve. And we got some Nami and Zeus awesome sauce here. So, but Jinbe versus Who's Who was the main battle. And Jinbe greatness, man, I mean, that's just that dude. That's that dude, you know what I'm saying? Awesome battle taking place. Shoulder throws, blocking, the attacks. This is going to be awesome in the anime. Man, dude. Interesting stuff. Very, very interesting stuff, man. But yo, I'll see y'all next time. Everybody has an awesome of a day. Take care. One Piece greatness. Jinbe's going ham on him. We now have another individual from the Void Century that we can talk about. Gargoyle Tile Fist. He hit him right in his grill. Like, right in the grill with that thing. And Who's like, yo, why you so mad? You're the one who made him mad. Jinbe greatness. That's our boy right there. There's a break next week too, of course. I knew that in advance before going into this chapter. So there's a break next week, and then the chapter after that will be the 24th anniversary with the lead color and cover. So looking forward to seeing that. But man, this is crazy. Who would have thought in the middle of this battle? Look at that, the guard. Oh, so it was the guard. The guard who told him. It wasn't the guard who told me about Nika vanished a few days later without a trace. So he risked his life to break out after hearing such a thing. So he believed in it in the very end. Crazy stuff. Now it makes me want to go back to Fishman Island. Or not Fishman Island, to Skypia. For the Nolan and Kagara flashback. And see if they also bring up somebody. Because then, once we start hearing these names, we can immediately be like, yo, these were people who were alive in the Void Century. Right? I mean, that's... This series, man. This series right here. Is that way they have the... Yo, I'm out of here, dude. Y'all have an awesome day. Take care. A lot of food for thought. This arc is crazy. There's always one major thing that drops in every chapter. Like, what? I'll see y'all next time. Peace out. One Piece greatness.